welcome into episode 150 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube. As always, with me, host Stefan Loeffler at Junkwax Twins.
Oh, hi.
Ben Wilson at our trading cards. And I'm Tim Shepler at Big Shep 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors, hoping to bring you a smart, insightful podcast discussing trading cards. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific.
10 Central.
On YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Follow us on Twitter About the Cards. We're available as a podcast everywhere you can find one. Check out the website, aboutthecards.wordpress.com. Guys, congratulations. Ben, you sent out a nice tweet this morning. Episode 150. Like, who thought 150 of these? And I still can't get the intro right every time. That's more fun. I can't remember my name. It's great, though. Live. It's more fun live, right? It's, 150 of these live.
Who thought 5?
Episode 0, 151.
Yeah, who thought 5, right? I mean, we literally said we're going to do 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah, see what happens. And here we are, almost a full 4 years later. We hit 4 years, I want to say.
Mid-June? Mid-July?
Yeah, I have it marked down here. I need to look. July 30th. Or I'm sorry, June 30th. June 30th is the official season of start of season 4. And the way we count these is we every 52 weeks. So every 52 episodes because we're doing weekly. I think there's only 1 week we missed. It was the first year we didn't do a July 4th show because it came on a Thursday or a Wednesday.
I think there might have been one holiday episode.
Yeah. So besides that, we've been here.
Yeah, we pushed 1 or 2 episodes, I think, to Thursday.
Yeah.
Early
I think it was
on,
an 18
sure.
Because the way the holidays all fell, they kept falling like right around Wednesday shows. So I got a new mic today. I'm really happy. So hopefully all the audio is better. I was having some issues here, and I was looking at this mic. It's a Shure mic, and I reached out because Big Game James Good had gotten a new mic and was, and I reached out, and it was actually he bought the same mic I was looking at. So ordered it yesterday, and Amazon had delivered to my house. I ordered last night at 8 o'clock, and it got here this morning at 10 a.m. I have no idea how that company does their business, man, because like legitimately it was less than 12 hours. It was to my door, about 14 hours or whatever it was at my front door.
You get that drone delivery?
I wish. It's my wife's boyfriend. He's here 5 days a week. He stops by the house. So we're on track to break our record of over a delivery a day from last year. So, yeah, just if you order product. Anyway, she has an Amazon problem. I have a cardboard problem. We make it work. So,
yeah, and Visa's just sitting back on like this.
You know what? Most of it's debit though. Most of it's debit. I would say like 98% of it's debit.
Good way to live. You should never rent money unless you have to. The only time I rent money is when I have like 7 purchases on the old eBay at one time. It's easier to put it on a credit card and get the rewards, and then just by the end of the week, write the credit card company a check, so to speak.
Well, you know what
ACH.
The only credit card I have attached to my eBay is my PayPal credit card, because I earn money back that I can spend out of my PayPal account. And so that's been helpful. So,
as long as you're fiscally responsible with it, it's not a problem.
No. Yeah. I don't put much on it. Most of the time I have, the funds or whatever. So it was easier because back in the day when eBay and PayPal were friends, and you could just, store you could get your sales money into your PayPal account, not a bank account. Then I could just pay off. I would just take that money and pay the bill instantly, but I would still get the points.
Yeah,
So I was, working the system, and it's a little bit. I got to be a little more diligent these days to work that system, but it still works.
Yeah, I keep track in an Excel spreadsheet of my checkbook ledger. So instead of having 7 transactions to the eBay, it's easier to have 1 to the old Visa or MasterCard, and suck in a couple of those points. Benefit from that. At some point,
black card.
Yeah. Well, hey, not all of us can be ballers like him.
They're blue, but speaking of,
what's up? They're a baller coming in and hanging out.
You want to come on and say hi to the guys? It's episode 150. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, buddy?
hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah, it's going good. You gonna hang out tonight? You can talk some Oakland A's baseball with us, or do you want to be a Giants fan?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can say. Can you say "Let's go Giants" for me?
Let's go Giants.
There we go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Corrupting my kid live on air, live every Wednesday night.
Oh. So I sent a picture out to a couple buddies, but on Friday my son woke up and got dressed, and he's got a Posey jersey a family friend gave him, and it's pretty legit for a 4T Giants jersey. I mean, it buttons up, it's got the stitch and Giants on, it's a Posey. He comes and wakes me up and says, "I have your outfit today, Dad," and he pulls out my Posey jersey, and we were matching with Posey jerseys and Giants hats all day long. So that was fun. He's 3 years old, so it was a good time. But how was your guys this week?
Good. Hey, do we have a spot where we can do some shout outs for a few people? Do we have that?
Yeah, we'll do that at when we wrap up tonight, because I got a couple things too I want to go over.
Okay, sounds good. Go
ahead.
No, it's good week. It's I think with COVID hopefully wrapping up, I hope a lot of people can get back to normal. I know a lot of people are suffering from depression and anxiety, and I hope that mental health awareness is huge. There was a Giants minor leaguer who tried to take his own life a while back and actually is missing an eye. He hit a home run for the Sacramento River Cats yesterday, so I'm glad to see. Not only is he alive and well, but he was able to, I think his name is Robinson, if I'm not mistaken.
Drew Robinson.
Yeah. And good story of, he faced the devil. He looked the devil in the eyes and was able to come back. And good story. So hopefully, reach out. There's always people willing to listen. And I had a few people reach out this week. It's been nice to talk to people that understand. And know that there are people out there. We're out there, So let's try to raise that awareness.
Yeah, honestly, my DM's like always open 24/7. You need, reach out. What's up? I loved again. One of my biggest things this year was to be a resource in the hobby, and that just doesn't have to be hobby related. It can be life related. I got a buddy going through some just insane family things with health, with parents and stuff, and I make sure to reach out to him and just check in every so often, and every few days. Not like I'm bugging him or pestering him, but it's like, hey, thinking about you. Let me know if you need me to run to the grocery store, whatever it is. So that's something you can do for the weekend. It's free. I got a bone to pick about. I'm looking down at my desk here with the Postal Service. I want to talk about it later and see what you guys think. But I think I'm honestly thinking about going over there tomorrow, and and confronting them. So let's hop into it. The week that was last week's releases. Topps Living Week 165. Card 411, Julio Arias, pitcher, Los Angeles Dodgers, sold just over a few over 2,200. And then card 412, Yermin Mercedes, the rookie catcher of the White Sox, sold just a few shy of 38,000. Not a bad week. I mean, you have a Dodger. Yeah, I'm sorry, 3,800. Sorry.
Didn't think we were breaking any records there.
No. It wouldn't break it because Acuna has 45,000 he sold.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah,
his was like a
top
perfect
5,
storm,
top 10,
right? His was the Griffey, the Shore Griffey. It came at the peak of Topps Living. So yeah, not a bad week. I'm excited about this week. I had to spend some money this week on Topps Living. So we also had 21 Topps Tier 1 baseball. I loved your tweet, Ben, about the 4 or 5 A's cards you bought and said, what if you'd spent $185 and received this box? I mean, they're all A's, so that probably wouldn't happen. But the names, if you interchange the names with other players from other teams, you can easily do like, hey, this guy matches with this guy on this team. And you spent, like $30 and 8 of it was shipping, something like that?
So far, I've bought a Miguel Tejada and a Mark Mulder auto, both numbered out of 300. And then I've bought a single relic of Matt Chapman, one of Matt Olson, and one of Ramon Laureano. I spent under $35, and 14 of that was shipping. So 21 is your eBay sold price. I also, right before the show started, bought a Ricky Henderson single relic, which is a legend. He sells for more, for $20, $4 to ship. So right now on tier 1, I'm $60 into it. I've got 2 autos and 4 relics, and I've saved $125 where you'd only get 2 autos and 1 relic. So yeah, again, interchange names. It's not. There's plenty of guys on the checklist that you could interchange within reason. But just think about that. Right now, we're opening up a $185 box, and you pull a Mark Mulder-ish auto, a Miguel Tejada-ish auto, even a Ricky Henderson relic, and your return is under $40, and that's signed, sealed, delivered. That's shipped and taxed to the buyer. Man, you're bending over and you're taking a bath in this.
Well, you know why you were able to get them so cheap, right?
Yeah. Here comes the A's comments.
It's because they're about to be the Montreal A's.
Yeah, what do you think about that? So a lot of people have had mixed feelings and said, like, whatever. The A's the franchise has legitimately tried to make that waterfront park work. It's what the city council people that are like holding them back, and like
there's a lot of moving parts because you have different coalitions that didn't want you building. They don't want you breaking ground there because of the industrial stuff that might be under the concrete. Libby Schaff is not the most popular mayor in the state of California. She might have aspirations to possibly run for Congress or Senate someday. And if you lose not 1, not 2, but potentially 3, I mean, think about this. 3 major league franchises were not only in the same city, they were in the same parking lot with the Raiders and A's in the Coliseum and right next door. Literally, you don't have to be Peyton Manning to throw a football to hit one of the. I mean, they sat that close.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're outside of the Oakland Coliseum to get to Oracle, I think it takes me longer to walk across the street to get to my mailbox. They sat that close, and you've now lost. I mean, the Warriors are still in the Bay Area, so put an asterisk there. I don't know if you've seen the video of the legend Marshawn Lynch going in front of city council in his backpack, and he's just like, you lost the Warriors, you lost the Raiders, best not be losing the A's, and then turns around and walks out of the city council. It's just like Marshawn Lynch is epic.
My whole thing with that is that, yeah, you lost the Warriors. I mean, but they moved but it's still, they moved out of the city. They're going to be the San Francisco Warriors at some point.
Yeah.
And the Golden State goes away. And I know that they've bounced between the two cities forever, but to me, it's mind boggling. And welcome Arms in Sacramento. If you just want to move up here 90 miles,
I've heard, and I don't know that. Obviously, I know that the San Jose region is San Francisco Giants territory. Yeah. I've heard Sacramento is protected. I don't know that that's true, but I've seen a few people.
Yeah. I know San Jose is the A's gave up the rights in the 70s or the 80s to the Giants for that because the Giants, were having some troubles.
Yeah, I think this is political posturing. I think the A's are. They've tried. They've done a lot of things. They've got the EIR, which is an economic report. They got Governor Newsom to expedite that and pass it. I think you have two entities that are both looking out for their best interest and not necessarily anywhere near the same page. I'll say this: if the A's want a stadium in Oakland, I think there's a stadium to be had. I don't think that when Major League Baseball and the A's say that the Coliseum is not viable, I mean, you tell that to Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. I think,
but see what happened with that is that when Al Davis came back in '95, the Coliseum people bent over and did whatever he wanted to bring them back, and they've not really taken care of that facility. I think like the people in Boston and Chicago have taken care of those stadiums. I mean, Yankee Stadium even got replaced. So not every stadium is irreplaceable. But if you've ever gone to the O, as much as I talk trash about the A's, the fan base is awesome. But that it smells of urine, and there's leaks and there's problems all over it.
But
the biggest thing, like Bean said in the chat, that the Rangers held up the city for a new stadium and was only 25 years old, but this stadium's built in the 60s. The A's have been there from forever, and I don't know. They don't.
Would $500 million renovate the Coliseum to where it is a viable Fenway, Wrigley Field-esque viable option?
I would assume.
The problem is this Oakland Coliseum, this financial package is estimated to be $10 to $12 billion with $1 billion waterfront park. It's much bigger. And the A's do own half of the Coliseum site. They bought their half from the city. So there's a lot of moving parts. I think if Oakland truly wants the A's to stay there and the A's truly want to stay there, a deal absolutely could be had. I think a lot of this is political posturing.
They want to revitalize. The A's are like, hey, we want to build a place so people will come and stay and spend money here. And I feel like the city's just like, now we don't want to do, like the stupid idiots that run San Diego. They're tearing down Jack Murphy. I think it's gone now, or Qualcomm, whatever you want to call it. And then when they let the Chargers just go, right? That was the saddest thing ever, because the Chargers could have gone away for a year or two and played in LA. They could have torn it down and built an amazing stadium right there, kept the Chargers, and it was all political stuff. And
it generally is.
I understand like the taxpayers paying for the stadium, but you also have to think of all the money that that franchise brings in tax revenue, and the players' salaries, the money they're spending in the town, the other teams coming in, the ability to maybe have an all-star game at some point in time. When you have a new stadium, it's real easy to get an all-star game.
Well, I was having a conversation with my father-in-law years and years and years ago, and he's like, let the Kings leave. The Sacramento Kings don't need them. We don't want them. The taxpayers, blah, blah. I was like, that line of thinking is completely ignorant when it comes to economics. But if you live in the Sacramento area, you knew what kind of a dumpster Arco Arena was. Not just for basketball. You have to think of a multi-purpose arena, okay? I went and saw one at Oracle, a concert at Oracle, and I was like, wow, look at this versus Arco. And it's an older arena as well. And once they built the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento, you had all of these restaurants. We're talking pre-COVID now. It was built on land that was an outside mall that it was 15 years long in the tooth. It was well past its prime. Nobody went down there. Now you have all of these restaurants that have opened up pre-COVID. That whole area was popping. But the big thing is, you had the Paul McCartneys of the world. You had the Taylor Swifts of the world. You had all of these country stars. You had all of these pop stars that looked at Arco Arena and said, I'm not going there. The acoustics are bad. I'll drive 90 minutes up the road and go to Oakland or San Francisco and play one of those venues. Or 45 minutes up the road, we have an outdoor venue. I'll go over there.
Yeah.
And I don't need this. The circus used to be there when Barnum and Bailey used to exist. Ringling Brothers. You have all of these other things that said, I'll just go to Oakland or San Francisco. I don't need you. And now all of a sudden they're staying in Sacramento, and that's revenue that's coming into the city. That's keeping people employed here in the city, in our community. That's restaurants that are benefiting and bars that are benefiting. Downtown charges for parking and so on and so forth. If we extrapolate that or mirror that into any other city, look at all the revenue. Look at all the revenue that Oakland is losing because the Warriors are in San Francisco and the Raiders are in Vegas. It's ridiculous. You need to keep your teams.
No, definitely.
Now, granted, it should be a financial split. I don't think it should be publicly funded 100%. But at least with the A's, I think there's a compromise to be had, and I do honestly believe that the team will stay there. I could be hoping for something, but
because then the thing of the realignment is going to be massive. I love how we recap Topps Tier 1, and it leads into this whole discussion about franchises moving. That's where we are, episode 150. We also have 2021 Panini Crown Royal Basketball.
real quick, my dad always asks, he's like, "What's tonight's show about?" I'm like, "We don't know. We have topics." I said it's a potpourri show.
Pretty good.
Somebody
Pretty good
says
about
something in the chat room, and we're going to go off on that tangent. I said, "Yeah, we have our topics, but a lot of stuff happens organically, and that's what's so
And
great
Ben
about
never
it."
reads it.
And we have 2020 Panini Flawless Football. And let's hop in. Hot off the presses this week's new releases. Tops opening week
Let's do it.
166. Card 413, Christian Javier rookie pitcher of the Houston Astros. In card 414, Carlos Santana, catcher, Kansas City Royals. Now, I know he was a catcher when he came up in 2009 or 10 with the Indians.
Yep.
But he's not played catcher in like years. He's played like 33 or 34 games at first base and one at DH with the Royals.
But how many did he play at guitar?
Yeah, a lot. So I had, per my collecting habits here, I had to pick up one of the rookies for the rookie collection, and obviously at least one Santana for the Royals PC. So both cards I think look really good this week.
More beards. I love the beards. They do such a phenomenal job, and that Santana with the eye black under his and then you got the sun hitting his neck and his jersey, and then also his two different parts of his helmet. Man, the detail on this card is just ridiculous, and I mean that in an awesome way.
It's been a while since we've had a Royals card.
Here's one for you guys. When's the last time you think you played catcher?
Probably with the Indians in 14.
I was about to say 2014.
So you guys cheated. Yeah, 2014.
No, we're just that good.
I would have said 16, 17, somewhere in there, but I don't pay attention to the Indians. Sorry, the Cleveland baseball team.
No, they're still the Indians this year.
For now.
We have a car. We also this week coming out 2021 Score Football. Score Football, $350 a box. This was always $100 box. $350. It sounds like a fun box to open here. 10 packs per box, 40 cards per pack. You're going to get 4 autographs, a Tom Brady TD tribute, 36 inserts, 10 parallels. I mean, dude, that's thick. There's 400 base cards. The first 300 are vets. The next 100 are rookies. The rookies are pictured and listed with your college teams because it came out so close to the draft. This is the first, real rookie cards we're seeing of these guys pop out. There's only 19 parallels. There's a new one this year, and it's exclusive to hobby boxes only. It's a die cut. Those are numbered out of 10. Rookie autographs are where most of the product gets its signatures. These are nearly identical to the base cards, and they're adapted to have the autograph on them. The Tom Brady TD tribute looks back at all of the career touchdowns he's thrown. So he's got one card for every touchdown, so it's like 513 touchdowns, something like that. There are some cool inserts, the all hands, the breakthrough, the celebrations, fantasy stars, my favorite, the hot rookies. There's also some NFL draft inserts. And rare inserts this year are lenticular base dynamics and intergalactic. So that's pretty cool. This is always like the hot rookies. I love I mean, back in the day, like they were on those fat blister packs, like 91. They were so like, yeah, you thought they were super exclusive, and so, but yeah, like I don't see this being a $350 product. I mean, if it was like $150, yeah, maybe. But you're supposed to get about 90 rookies in a box, so you're going to get pretty close to building a set in one box. But for $350 and its score, I mean, it doesn't super hold the value long term, but yeah, look at all those touchdowns Tom threw. That's a hell of a checklist. Now, if somebody builds that TD checklist set, good luck.
Also, you have a golden ticket, a Wonka golden ticket to come on the very next About the Cards podcast, whatever episode that is. We'll invite you on because
maybe 6-8 years from now. Ben, I know you've been saving up for this, and your Excel spreadsheet has every year sets aside money for you. It skims off the top of all your funds.
It does.
2021 Topps Transcendent Collection Hall of Fame edition dropped today. $22,000 a case. 47 cards per case. I think it was limited to 50 cases this release. You're going to get one 1956 Topps Superfractor. It's a 1 of 1. One Hall of Fame Icon autograph. That's a 1 of 1. One oversized 1989 Topps Big framed autograph. 1 of 1. One oversized cut signature. 1 of 1. One through the ages Nolan Ryan autograph. 1 of 1. One through the ages Randy Johnson autograph. 1 of 1. One Transcendent Hall of Fame co-signers autographs. 2 Transcendent Collection autograph 1 of 1 parallels. 37 additional Transcendent Collection autographs. 1 James Fiorento sketch cards, and 1 VIP invitation. Everybody in this set is a Hall of Famer. New this year are those Hall of Fame co-signer dual autographs. The 56 Topps Superfractor, they basically took that design, put the Hall of Fame players on there, and gave it that Superfractor look. There are 50 of those. And new this year, again, the top 89 Topps Big autograph. And I put that twice because I know how much Ben loves himself some Topps Big. So you have to go out and get whatever probably Eckersley, you have to get that Topps Big autograph for the PC.
So, I do try to get all the base and the sketch cards and all the Transcendent, and they are reasonable for the most part. But think about this. Let's do some quick math here. You have 50 cases at 22 grand. If you do the math, that's $1.1 million. So you're telling me that out of these 50 cases on the secondary market, all of these cards, if you had them all listed at once, right, that you'll make more than $1.1 million on the secondary market. I would highly doubt that. I mean, yeah, you've got the 1 of 1s and stuff like that, but
these cut signatures could help you. There's some oversized cut signatures, and here's some of the teammates that are involved in this. This is one card right here. Roy Campanella, Pee Wee Reese, Jackie Robinson, and Duke Snyder. Another one is Joe D. and Lou Gehrig. Pretty sure that would do well. Another one, Ted Williams and Bobby Dorr. One more for the Indians here. Lou Boudreau, Larry Doby, Bob Feller, and Early Wynn. So
let's say that Dodgers one fetches what? With Jackie Robinson and Roy on it, 25, 30 grand? You know, and the Yankees won. And let's say they both hit 30 grand. So you're at $60,000. You've sold 2 cards. But for all of those, you're going to have some cards that don't break $100. And so, and in order to profit off of it, you 1.1 million would be your break even, assuming you paid 22,000 per, right? That's assuming you didn't put it on a credit card or anything with interest. If you just want to just do raw numbers, I mean, you would have to think in order to cover all of your costs and everything, you'd probably have to gross 1.4, 1.5 million.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. And we all know opening boxes is a losing proposition. You know,
sure.
Scroll up real quick all the way to the top, Steph.
Yep. Nope.
Look at that. Curry
won't be joining my collection.
You know, Brett's had like some cards in here, and I've never tried to even look to go pick out a Brett. I'm fine with that. So
there, you know, like the base cards and the regular Transcendent, where it's like at a number at 83 and stuff like that. A lot of the base cards can be had for $20 to $30, and the sketch cards are a little bit more. But I mean, I bought all 4 of them off of Brent Williams a couple of years ago, and I think we paid 120 or 150 maybe for the 4 sketch cards, which isn't bad when you divide 150 by 4. You know, it's a lot of the lower end stuff can be had. So don't write off your favorite player. I mean, yeah, you're not going to probably go get the 101 autos, right? The cuts you're not getting. But if you know your guy's in the base set out of 83, I bet you could have him for, under a dinner at Applebee's for 2.
Yeah.
But
so,
Steph, can you scroll up real quick to the top? Because I want to. This is what you miss in modern day cards when you look at Bowman Chrome. If you want to go all the way up to where they have the pictures, we see so much garbage autos right there. Andre Dawson. Look at that autograph. That is stinking gorgeous.
It's not that Gabe guy or whatever. I didn't even put that in the notes because that guy.
Yeah, Gabe Holt or whatever. I mean, look at that. I mean, Henderson's right above it. But look at the just the penmanship on Andre Dawson. I got a Cespedes Dawson dual auto years and years ago. Man, that's just and all the guys from that era. You know, Will Clark has a beautiful one, and Eckersley,
I
and
saw that last week.
we could go on and on about the guys. Like if you lived before 1995, Dale Murphy. It's like you could tell every letter of. I mean, the Henderson, right? You can see that one. He gets a little sloppy at the very end, but still, you can tell what that says.
Mm-hmm.
And man, if I'm paying for an autograph, this is what I feel like we should expect, if not demand. And you see some of this crap that we get, you know, that Jack Boo in basketball, whatever that dude's name was, that had the slash line. and
Cam Reddish.
Yeah, it's like have a look. And I get that these guys sign thousands. You know, I mean, we're not going to get on that soapbox, but I just want to highlight that because it's pretty. Not only that, because it's also a Montreal Expo card, and that's just neat. So
minor
claim them
tidbits.
as a franchise.
The one of one sketch cards. I looked up the artists. Two things of note. One, apparently he was an understudy of one of the 1953 Topps original artists. Kind of cool. But also you might recognize a couple of these sets. So like 99 Gallery, great set. I thought
actually looks like the player. Oh, weird.
And then early 2000s Upper Deck did a Legends set. There's also, I think, some auto relic whatnot's going on with that set. Cool. Nice base design. Artwork. I mean, you can tell that's Willie, birthday boy himself this week.
By the way, not to be political, but I just think she's just, no matter where you stand on the aisle, I think Nancy Pelosi's an idiot, and her whole team, like she tweeted out, it wasn't her, but her people tweeted out a picture of her,
Willie McCovey,
and Willie McCovey, and said, "Happy birthday, Willie Mays! 90 birthday!" And it was Willie McCovey.
I love it. It's like the lady that who was it? Dwight Howard. There's a Facebook picture, and he was just a taller gentleman, probably about 6'7" ish. And she's like, "I'm at Macy's and I just met Dwight Howard," and the guy's got this big smile on his face, knowing damn well he's not Dwight Howard.
He's more like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, it's just, dude, I love it.
And last set, early 2000s Upper Deck Play Ball.
I might have to go after that Tejada and Zito.
They're not bad. I like them.
Again, if those cards are under $25,
these are base cards.
Why wouldn't I?
For $1?
Well, I think he's talking about the Transcendent ones.
Oh, wow.
Sure. Sorry. Yeah. Isn't this not Transcendent?
No. Yeah. These are just the artwork that he's done for previous sets.
Understood. Okay. Sorry.
I mean, you could probably get the A set for $1 or $2.
But if that was in Transcendent, if that was a base set in Transcendent, you'd get it for cheap.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the point is, don't write off Transcendent as being a product you can't afford on the secondary because there's a lot of affordable cards in Transcendent.
Well, my whole thing with it is that if they're going to bring it out every year, just do regular Transcendent because what you're doing now is you're going to have some of these Hall of Famers in the regular one as well.
Right.
And so now you're diluting the quality of that product and their autographs in those products. And that's the thing. And I just don't think they care or understand that point. And it's like, you want this to be something special. If they did Transcendent every 5 years, they could get 50,000 a box.
Yeah.
They could. But what they're doing is they're just beating this horse and they're doing it 4 or 5 times a year. And it's like, guys, take a second.
That's Topps and Mo.
But it's just run it into the ground. It's like, God.
I don't want to go down a dark alley, but for just a moment, if you did say do this every 5 years on the 0s and the 5s, right? So the next year we see this is 2025. If you were able to come up with a design today and get a player like Willie Mays, who is alive and well, but he's 90 years old and he's not going to be with us forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
If you could get somebody like him while he's still alive and include that in a set 5-10 years from now when he might not be. I mean, imagine how much if you've got those autographs in this set, man, that's going to be the ultimate chase stuff. And we've seen that with Panini time and time again that does, sticker dumps after a player has passed on. But there's additional value there for collectors that this might be the last time you'll ever have an opportunity to get this particular player, and it's something that I was just talking to my dad about this beforehand, talking about heritage and archives and the 1983 through 1986 inserts we've seen in flagship over the last couple of years. The fact that they're all catching up to one another. Heritage is on the heels of all of this stuff. And it's not unique anymore. It's just bastardizing the same stuff. And how many copies of a 1969 Reggie Jackson do I need that say recollect tops and Burger's best on the back? And if you want to release a 1969 tops Reggie Jackson, could you not just put a different image on it like they did like back in like 05 or 07 where they did the like a rookie card reimagined type set that was an insert set?
It's laziness, and they we saw the same Ryan Mountcastle picture just zoomed cropped differently for 3 different cards this year alone.
They did that with Cespedes like 4 or 5 times with Archives and Heritage and Ginter back in his rookie year,
or for 3 or 4 years when Tony Pena was the manager of the Royals. It was all the same.
It just kept going doom.
This is an interesting one. Now, the new releases, we were supposed to have 6-7 this week. Like, all of them got moved, kicked back. It was crazy. But this one was not on our list. 2021 Wild Card Matte Black Football comes out Friday. Yeah, you might hear Wild Card for those collecting in the 90s. $1,500 a box.
Of course.
6 packs per box, 6 cards per pack. You're going to get 4 black packs, 2 Chase Red Fire packs. Each pack is going to offer 3 autographs. So you're going to get 18 total autographs in a box. It's limited to 300 cases. This is a reboot of the 1990s release. Similar to Leaf and Sage, the Prospect Football set features some of the top collegiate players ahead of the 2021 NFL Draft. Obviously, coming out after the NFL Draft. However, the cards carry no official league or team license. There are 22 players that are either quarterbacks or expected to go in the first rounds. All cards are numbered and autographed on card. They have thumbographics, which are an actual thumbprint. They have some inserts called Smoking Guns, Explode, and Red Hot Rookies. Each of these featured 8 parallels are limited to 50 or less. The unsigned cards include the famed striped lineups. So if you remember, you would get one that was 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, or 1,000 card parallels. And what that meant was you could send that card in and get 1,000 copies of that card. And I believe the most famous one's the Brett Favre. And then they're going to release a second round of this May 28th. And it's going to be 2021 Wild Card Matte White Football. The format's is almost identical, except for the Chase red packs are now blue ice instead of red fire. So I'm interested to see this. I think the cards look, from what the mock-ups are, look really good. Price point's a little high, but the fact is that it's limited to 300 cases. All the cards are on card autograph. Everything is numbered. It's all numbered low under 50. It's going to be interesting. It's another brand coming back, and let's see what happens.
Thumbprint relics, dude. God forbid one of these guys commit a crime, and now all of a sudden we're all junior detectives.
Ones,
yeah.
There was one for handprints a few years ago where I remember Cal Ripken had one. I could steal his hand and murder my wife and blame it on Cal.
Yeah, it's like this guy all of a sudden commits a crime, and we all have these in our PC. It's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just thought it was interesting. I'm excited to see kind of what that is, and heck, I've been buying Leaf cards this year, so who knows? The world's upside down.
Hey, you know what? Credit where it's due. Hey, Brian, this is a good-looking product. We'll see what it does on the secondary, but hey, at least on paper, well done.
So make sure you check out Ryan Cracknell's articles on Beckett.com/news for more details on all these new releases. What's brewing next week's releases? We have 2021 Panini Contenders Basketball, 2021 Upper Deck Trilogy Hockey, and 21 Panini Contenders Draft Pick Collegiate Football. That is a mouthful.
So, speaking of thumbprint,
Steph's got something.
I do. Not actual thumbprints, but something equally dumb.
This guy's like a mad scientist when you say something.
Oh yeah, the pen tips. They've had these in years past.
Is that not the dumbest idea?
No, it's better than the
It's
napkin
black.
relics.
The signature is blue.
Yeah, that's dumb, but it's tops
But it is the
So-
greatest third baseman of all of the time.
and the National League. Yes.
I don't know. Eddie Matthews existed. So
Yeah, he's better than Eddie Matthews. Let's be honest.
As well, from our buddy Once a Cub. To a previous topic.
Wait. He's our buddy?
Well, some of ours.
Okay.
Every time I say Excel database, the dude gives me crap because it's not a database. Good God.
I mean, it's not. It's a spreadsheet.
It's a database.
No, that's Access.
Spreadsheet. Yeah,
Hey,
Access
people
is-
call trading cards investments, and we know damn well that's not right. So let me call this. You can call it an investment if I can call it a database, and we'll both be wrong. We'll stand there in our
Turkey
wrongness.
Red. Turkey Red weren't the best.
So yeah,
Just because they had to do it for backgrounds.
I'll give Matt Major, Once a Cub, our friend, apparently a shout out. He did say the top's now tablecloth, which that one's hard to argue with.
Anyway, coming up next week, Shep, what do we got?
Yeah, sorry. No, it just Ben. It was weird. Like it was like digitizing in my ear, and I wasn't sure if Ben was still talking. Infield chatter, hobby talk section, part of the show. Albert Pujols was released this week by the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels designated a future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols, for assignment on Thursday, leaving the 41-year-old playing days in limbo. Pujols was in the final year of a historic 10-year, $253 million deal, which included 10 years, $10 million personal service contract once his playing days are over. He's real close to 700 home runs, right?
Is it 67? I want to say.
I see. I don't see him playing long enough to get to 700. I could see him going. He's got to go to an American League team.
Who?
To DH. You know who signs him? The Yankees.
I don't know. The problem is that there's nobody that really has a spot for him
Right now.
There's just and injuries can happen. He's gonna have to resign himself to the fact that he's a bench player. You know what really sucks though? He's had a couple of down years, including hitting under 200 this year. His lifetime batting average right now is sitting at 298.
Okay. He's had some really down years since he became an Angel. Go back and look at his 10 years the 8-9 years he was in St. Louis.
10 years, yeah.
The second he went to the Angels. Look at the number. It just. I mean, the first few years were productive, but everything came down. Everything came down.
Well,
he wasn't,
but he's 31 at that time he signs that contract, though.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that
Or
like
was
once
he?
the player hits that like 32, 33, it's it.
Honestly, years ago, 5-10 years ago, we'd see it in baseball all the time where teams were paying for past performance and they've gotten smarter, where now guys are literally being retired that are one-trick ponies. I mean, look at guys like Chris Carter, who bounced around for a few years, and I think one year he led the league in home runs, and the next year he's out of Major League Baseball because he can't do anything else except hit a home run ball. And it's like, cool, we can get somebody that can do that at 60% of your production, but he also plays defense and two positions.
So how is Chris Davis still in the major leagues? Because he's with the Rangers and he can't throw.
Well, his thing was he meant a lot to the Oakland A's when they signed him to that 2-year extension. To your point, where does he get signed next year?
He's done.
Unless the National League institutes the universal DH, maybe he can catch on somewhere. But again, Chris Davis doesn't offer you anything except a very low batting average. And even the last couple of years, since that injury he had in Pittsburgh, he hasn't done anything of note, right? He's been injured. And so he might be a guy like Chris Carter, Brandon Moss, and so many guys that came before him that just might be retired by Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Sure.
My question is, I think that after I watched the Giants and Rangers. Like, there's like, you look at the Rangers, like offensive, like they're actually the whole team. It's like a bunch of and that guy, wait, what?
Bunch of who's and Joey
Old
Gallo.
guys. Yeah, and it's like, and then the same watching the Tigers play a little bit. You're like, okay, and I know they beat up on the Royals this week, but I'm like, I was like, okay, and then watching the Orioles play, good Lord, try to find a couple major leaguers on that AAA team. I mean, it's really bad, and then people are all mad. They're like, batting averages down across the league, and all. It's because everybody's trying to hit a home run, or that's it.
Right.
And no wonder the batting average is down, and these pitchers are having phenomenal years, and they're saying, oh, it's because they're using stuff, whatever. It's because everybody's trying to launch the ball 450 feet every time they're up to bat.
Right.
There were two incredible baseball stats I saw this week. 15 teams, or 15 times this year, a team has won a game while striking out 15 times or more. And they still won the game 15 times. Also, check this stat out. Last year and this year, in the 2020s, so far we've had 6 no-hitters, 2 last year and 4 so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
Six this decade, right? In the 1980s, how many no-hitters were thrown?
12.
Steph?
Somewhere in there.
13 no-hitters in the 80s. And we're already halfway there.
Most of them in
a truncated 2020 season, which is basically a third of a season. So we basically, now, so we've had basically a half season, a little more than a half season in this decade.
Sure.
2/3 of a season.
Right.
And we've already halfway to that of the 80s because pitchers are just throwing smoke. You have 18 guys in the bullpen. And
I was watching today. I saw Taijuan Walker up to bat for the Mets. Now, he's their pitcher. And obviously, pitchers don't really hit, right? Majority of them don't. They're a handful.
Right.
He stood up there, put the bat on his shoulder like this, and the guy just threw 3 seeds right down the middle. He didn't blink. And then before he leaves the batter's box, he takes his helmet off and walks back to the dugout. He was 0 for 3 for the day with 3 strikeouts.
Like,
now,
just hold your bat out. It might hit something.
They were up 6-0. And so, okay, whatever. But my whole thing is, so that to me, if you have guys that aren't even trying,
how is that
the National League put in the DH?
They will.
He's not even trying.
They will, because they've got the labor agreement ends at the end of this year, so that'll happen.
You're eliminating players early because the National League can't, like, they have these guys that can hit. And I'm not even saying for power, but they can just hit, and they're not getting to move. They like half the teams are off the bat. We can't sign you because we have nowhere to play you.
But can I interest you in one at bat that Bartolo Colon had once?
Yeah,
in his career.
Isn't that been 5 years now?
Was watching a game where Kershaw and Bumgarner were playing and pitching against each other because there was a real good chance one of them was going to hit a home run off the other, and then they were going to strike out each like 10 guys and. I miss those good old days.
Speaking of which, I'm waiting for my Freddie Freeman to pitch to Anthony Rizzo because he said if he ever gets the chance, he's throwing smoke. Yeah. He's not going to lob anything up there. And I just want to see a game of Freeman and Rizzo. 27.
Have them mic'd up all the time.
Yeah. I hope those guys never play on a team together because I always want to see them against each other.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes you like that. Seeing those little things makes me love baseball even more. Like, I wish we got more of the personalities of these guys because I think that we really be connect more with them. Because I really believe some of these baseball players are a lot more personal and a lot more. We're just not allowed. They're not allowing it in baseball. It's so stupid, and I think it's all this old thought. And I think some of the other leagues are getting around that. And you look what Adam Silver's done with the NBA, and the NFL is slowly reaching and letting go of some of these just antiquated rules and thoughts. And like, hey, let's open it up and Let's do stuff differently than we have in the past. And I think baseball needs to come around that, except for the runner at second base, because how did he get there? Baseball is all about accounting. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that because we'll drive us all
Runner on
crazy.
second, fly out, guy on third. It's dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Let's celebrate Nick Wasik, our friend and photographer buddy. He had the cover of Beckett Hockey. He tweets out today, the cover of Beckett Hockey was always a goal of mine, but never in a million years did I imagine the rest. Cover photo, check. Double truck, check. Featured in editor's note, check. Quoted in Caprezov article, check. 1,600 word piece on my work, check. Thank you to everyone who's helped me along the way. I am going to go pick one of these up. I very rarely buy magazines anymore. The last one I bought was, you can see it over my shoulder here, is the Beckett with the McGuire, Blake Jameson for Project 2020. And this one I will pick up because it's our buddy Nick. He took Kaprezov's Young Guns photo.
Kaprizov.
And congratulations to Stephanie here. He opened up a hobby box today and pulled his own.
I did, finally, after I don't want to talk about it.
It took some time. I opened up 2 boxes, and he was the first pack of the second box. I was very excited.
4 boxes, 3 blasters, 3 tins, 20 fat packs, and 2 retail boxes.
Look at you little retail. You're like a retail mogul.
They don't limit hockey, so I picked them all.
Which I love. So congratulations, Nick. Check it out. He won. Great photographer. Great dude. Like he just super awesome guy. Lots of fun. I hope
he might fight Cracknell for nicest guy in the hobby, except they're both not fight worthy.
Yeah, one's a Canadian and one's damn near close living in Minnesota. Like
Nick will throw out words once in a while with the long Canadian ooh.
Oh no.
Black Gold is back, baby. Speaking of Cracknell, he tweets out, I like new designs of my baseball cards, but coming in 21 Topps update. Black Gold. It's a picture of a Fernando Tatis. Black Gold. If you guys are not familiar with this, was it 1993, the first?
93, yeah. Well, so they had the gold and the gold winners in 92, but Black Gold's 93.
Once it comes, the last Beckett I picked up had to be the tweet between Shep and Pat Neshek responding to my tweet about the print run. Yes, I remember that. I have that Beckett as well. I thought that was pretty awesome. I made it in Beckett. That was a big thing for me. Like, just a little tweet was in there. That was super cool. But this Tatis, like, these are amazing. The originals were, I have a Griffey, and I will never let that thing go. I pulled it, almost peed my pants when I was a kid in 1993, and boom, there it was. And Steph's looking up some.
I didn't load it right.
That was weird. What are you hacking tonight, bud? Are you?
That was the show timestamps. No, so here's a preview of some of the original 93s. And if there's anyone that's more obsessive about errors and variations, it's Junk Wax Gems. So here's what the current ones look like and what they tried to mimic and what the card set should have been. However, some actually just got a flat gold background.
Yeah, so these are going to be super cool, I believe. So we will see. The Cubs are out collecting. There is an article on that they put out in the Chicago Sun-Times. Baseball card fever hits Cubs clubhouse. Collecting baseball cards has experienced a major boom, and the excitement has reached the Cubs clubhouse. Outfielder Jake Marisnick helped introduce the hobby to his teammates, and guys now are gathering around as new boxes and packs are opened before games. They're into it, and some of the new baseball cards, collecting those, opening up packages. Everybody's around, manager David Ross said. It's a huge deal. A huge ordeal when someone gets a new box and you're going through it. Ross has joined in the action too. They've actually let me open one the other day, Ross said. I didn't have a whole lot of luck in getting the good cards, so I'm suspended from opening any cards. There was more to the article about LeBron James and Mickey Mouse selling and stuff, but it's cool that now the Cubs are collecting. We've seen more of this. a lot of players have been, a lot of basketball players have been on, the Top Shot stuff, and Ben did an awesome story about that for later. But it's pretty cool to hear that these guys are actually collecting and excited to open cards and do stuff. And if it was going to be a team like the Cubs, kind of makes sense because they've always kind of been. I feel like David Ross was the older brother that came back. That dad,
right.
Something happened to dad, and now the older brothers come back to run the family and try to correct the ways. And hopefully, Chris Bryant is a San Francisco Giant soon. That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's probably going to go. But I just thought Steph sent. I think it was Steph sent that in the notes real late, and I wanted to add that in. I mean, it's just neat to see major leaguers collecting cards.
You can thank Rich for that.
Thank you, Uncle Rich. There was a major error at Mitch_Fortner tweets out. Can you spot the error? Not ideal. How do I get this label fixed? PSA card. Time to review the website, I guess. And he says at Old Town Cards, you have some explaining to do. I don't know why, but it was a. Topps Chrome 2019 Topps Chrome Blue Wave Auto of Michael Kopech, rookie auto, and in the title it says 2019 Panini Prism. Everything's right on the card. The number, got a 10, which is outstanding. It has the blue wave, the auto, the guy's name's right. It's just the set is incorrect.
So you're sure that all of this is right now? Maybe it's actually a 7.
Maybe it's a 7. Who knows? Yeah. Cross-eyed Joe had that one. He was grading that day. So I just thought that was funny. Not so funny. We have another hobby robbery. This comes from the Sonin on Twitter, and there's more to this. My LCS was broken into, and I know Eddie at Eddie Sports Treasures, and this is in Knoxville, Tennessee. I really hate this for him and all of us in the hobby. Cards are hotter than the stock market. And then there was a news article or a TV article that came out. The owner of Eddie's Sports Card Treasures, Eddie Barkley, says a man broke through his front door and stole more than $50,000 in unopened boxes of sports cards during the weekends. It's my hottest valuable type of cards today. In the next couple weeks, there will be something else that's high end like that. But as of right now, that was my cream of the crop, so to speak. I've got probably 200 different items on the shelves, and he took the most expensive ones and did it within 2 minutes. Barkley said one of the boxes that he took, it retails for $3,500, and I had 8 of those taken. Barkley says he's desperate to find out who's behind the alleged crime. He's also turned over surveillance to the Knoxville Police Department. I just want to catch the guy. I mean, I'm more worried about that than I am the money. Obviously, $50,000 is very important to me, as it would be to anybody. But the point is, I absolutely despise thieves, he said. We've got images of him, know exactly what he did and the entire time he was here, where he went, what he took, the type of stuff. And then we've got some more footage to look at from the parking lot. So hopefully that we can find out what type of car they were in and really actually be able to do something about it. Now, it also reported that, Jimmy's break-in. It said, hey, there was also a break-in in Lexington, Kentucky.
That's what I was curious about. So I looked it up. It's about 2.5 hours, or 3 hours. Drive.
My whole thing with this is that this is it's getting crazy, and it hurts because this is to be honest, card shops are small businesses, right? And they're probably running on, they have better margins this year in the last year and a half than they probably did in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right? Not even that. I mean, not that long ago, but still. They run on thinner margins, and to have some 50 grand just wiped out from you, and it had to be somebody that was in your shop, maybe that you helped, maybe a customer of yours. And the same thing with Jimmy, because they seem to know where to go and what to get and get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys a question. We've talked about these 2 robberies. I don't know if we're going to mention the issue that happened outside of Target. So before we get to that, we talked
all on Christmas Day. Hey, and look at that He-Man that I wrapped in that box for you.
That's right. The last week or two, we talked about that picture we saw of a guy buying a slab for all that cash. I mean, how long before we see a gun come into a card show? You know how much cash is rolling in there? How many slabs? How much retail? I mean, it's on every popular media outlet. How long before a gun walks into one of these? And I legitimately, before the show got canceled on the 22nd here in Sacramento, my first thought was, I don't know that I want to go. I don't know that I want to take my children there because I don't know that I trust the security. I mean, they're gonna be armed security guards at card shows before too long. I mean, this is disgusting.
And
Very
I
much
need to
is.
correct this. Ben says burglaries, not robberies. Yes.
Well, no, there, yes, it is a burglary.
Uh,
But it's only a matter of time until someone gets
It is a robbery.
feisty.
So
fight it. Target.
yeah, go ahead with that. Yeah, we will see somebody. There will be a serious fight at a card show, if not.
Oh,
So-
Brian,
so-
I'm just gonna. I know what Brian. I'm going to tell you. People are that dumb.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. People
People-
do things
people-
with guns over turn signals. So
people rob banks. People knock off the local 7-Eleven for $80 cash and an icy. You don't think somebody's not going to walk in there where there's potentially millions of dollars worth of inventory and hundreds of $1,000s worth of cash? You don't think somebody wouldn't walk into with a gun?
People
we're seeing
in,
it right now.
People in Houston just letting tigers on the loose. I mean,
yeah, that was neat. I'm a pet tiger. There was a fight at Target. Milwaukee 6, Fox News 6, and Milwaukee reports this. Fight over trading cards outside Brookfield Target. Brookfield police responded to a reported fight outside of a Target near 127th and Blue Mound on Friday morning, May 7th. The witnesses said several people were fighting outside of the store entrance, and one person was armed with a gun. It all unfolded over trading cards. Police said a 35-year-old man was physically assaulted by 4 other men in the parking lot after an argument over sports trading cards. The victim pulled out a gun he was allegedly carrying, and the 4 other attackers then ran away. No shots were fired. The victims sustained minor injuries. All 4 attackers, ranging from ages 23 to 25, were later arrested, found near the store. Formal charges are pending. A 5th man was identified at the scene but not arrested. It's kind of ridiculous. They commented something here. Ralph said it's kind of sad for the kids. I feel like it just sounds like all kinds of ridiculous that adults got into a fight in the parking lot about trading cards, and I agree.
I think his next line is pretty telling. When COVID hit, I think people were just bored and didn't have anything to do.
Yeah,
looking for hobbies. I mean, that's what we said when we were interviewed. Was that people have time, people have money, and they're looking for something to do. Hey, let me go back to an old hobby.
Yeah, and so this leads to a statement that came out from Panini that says absolutely nothing, by the way, but I'm going to read it here. It's certainly no secret the unprecedented explosion of the sports collectibles industry has dramatically impacted seemingly every conceivable part of the business, including manufacturing, distribution, fulfillment, protective supplies, grading service, and perhaps most strikingly, the mass retail marketplace. Simply, current market conditions have created never-before-seen scenes that include release day lines wrapped around stores, wild, seemingly uncontrollable crowding in trading card sections, not long thereafter, barren shelves. Collectively, those situations have led to, among other things, policy changes by some stores, rampant speculation, misinformation, and hard feelings among many collectors. Today, Panini America officials aim to set the record straight with some simple facts. Target and Walmart continue to be Panini America's retail partners, and Panini America works closely with retail distribution to service those accounts. Panini America officials take feedback regarding alleged improprieties seriously and research credible complaints thoroughly. If action is required, Panini America takes it. That process will continue. Target's made some policy changes to ensure the safety of store guests. As of April 30th, Target is selling trading cards only on Fridays and is limiting guests to only 1 unit purchases. Please reach out to your local Target store to learn more specifically how they're implementing the policy. Now you can purchase Panini products. We really are in uncharted waters right now. That's a fact, said DJ Kazmarak, Panini America's Vice President of Sales and Production Development. When it comes to retail marketplace, we're seeing things we've never seen before in this industry. Most of it's great, some of it's not. We're doing everything we can to protect the short-term and long-term viability of the retail sector. So basically, they don't really say anything. They're putting it all in the stores to do stuff. Hey, we're going to be here to help out. Okay. It leads into now Target, and this I'm going to talk about all this, so then we can I'm going to bring all this up, and then we all can have a little discussion here. Zach Val tweeted out earlier in the week, already seeing this going around. Not sure if it's true, but it keeps up. Retail will be sold on online only, I think. And it was a sign saying, due to high demand and to accommodate safety guidelines of our employees, the sales of trading cards will be suspended effectively June 4th, 2021. And then there was another one from Sports Enthused. The end is here. And this one was saying that to ensure the safety of our guest team members, effectively May 14th, MLB, NFL, NBA Pokemon trading cards will no longer be sold in stores until further notice. More signs of this came up. There was a confidential email that Target sent out that was not supposed to be leaked, and obviously it was. And in the email, it says that immediately to print the signs that they're no longer going to put this out there by the store open to pull any product that's out there. Why they are no longer selling select trading cards. The demand for cards is to continue to pose safety risk to our guests and team members. So we are temporarily pausing the selling of those cards, and just lots of information. I mean, it was crazy that Cardboard Icon sent this over. Someone's tweet. The hell is information?
Excel reps will continue to visit stores to stock other trading cards like NHL, NASCAR, UFC, and Magic that will remain on the sales floor.
And then Ask Target tonight tweets out, to ensure the safety of our guest team members, effectively May 14th, MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon trading cards will no longer be sold in stores until further notice. We apologize for the inconvenience. Have a great day. So legit, Target verified Twitter accounts put this out, and it's done. Done. I told you. I sent out a tweet earlier. I didn't even put it in here. The poll about, hey, if they suspend this for 6 months, do you think it gets rid of the flippers? Hey Steph, you see that thing in your search bar up there? It's the same issue I was dealing with.
Every single thing.
So you need to go into Chrome.
This is why I use TweetDeck.
Yeah, go into Chrome, and if you go into Chrome and you turn off populate payments and address, it will go away. I just learned that from Reddit right before the show started because I was going nuts. Sorry about that. I just, something was happening in real life. I wanted to show Steph. So Target's done. Ben was the leader in this, and Ben said before the show, he goes, I hate to be wrong, but I hate being right even more about this, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've told people this in private. I've told you guys this in private. When I say something on Twitter, I will stand on the hill and die with it, because a lot of times it incites conversation and debate. And I think that's healthy if it's done appropriately. But I've been saying since COVID, when we started, the winter is here, we don't know what this is. I said, watch, by Q3 2021, most retail, 70% or more, will be gone. And before the show, I said, I hate being wrong. Nothing pisses me off more than being wrong. But on this, I gladly would have been wrong if it meant we can walk into Target, Walmart, or other retailers like Meijer and Walgreens tomorrow and readily find the shelves stocked. And people that are coming out now saying, oh, you weren't the first. I think that jackass Vegas Dave said it once even. It's like, listen, we've been saying for well over a year on this show, having these conversations week after week, that retail is coming to an end as we knew it. Not entirely, but as we knew it. Brian Bertrand said this incident at Target that we just referenced is probably why they moved up that date. Again, I've used this analogy before. They don't want to lose
an employee.
I've used this analogy before. You're at the Chuck E. Cheese and they've got that coin machine where it's shuffling coins off the side.
Love those machines.
And this is where retail has been for the last year plus now, right? Where all those coins, you're just waiting for the one coin that's going to drop them over the side for you to quote unquote win. And here it is. My dad's a school teacher. Right before the show, I said, you were a school teacher. How many times were you in a classroom where you said, if I can't find out who's guilty of such and such, I have to punish all 30. Everybody's going to have to stay after class. And this is what it is. It happened on eBay with the sellers hiding their sales fees or their profit in the shipping, right? Now final value fees are around. We all have to pay that price because some chuckleheads were misusing the system
by the rules. Yeah.
So This isn't a horrible idea, but I like the thought process. Perfect solution for sports cards: have the cashier rip the seals on all sport cards at the time of purchase. Flippers won't like the idea, and true collectors won't mind the solution. Try and see what happens. You can thank me later, bro.
That's
Hashtag
a that's
it's
an
not
idea.
a horrible idea. The idea is in the right place.
That's like if you bought Oreos though, and the cashier opened the Oreos and then just took one out.
But then the flippers will just
Everybody's got to pay
per
taxes,
pack.
son. Everybody has to pay taxes. That's the tax for buying Oreos at Target.
So two things. One, you'll get just the flippers selling per pack, or two, you'll have the cashier ripping open packs like that guy that we showed last week.
By the way, did you see the video of Benagiri opening the? He was faking. It was just empty packs.
That was great.
That was so awesome. I mean,
that idea is one of those ones where conceptually it's a great idea, but the execution of it falls way flat.
Yeah, there was somebody TKO's cards sent me a thing. Hey, the guy in that video using the knife to the Bowman packs is Jonathan Spears. I'm in that group. I won't be buying anything from him.
Well done, friend. Thank you for giving us a name.
Yeah, Jonathan Spears is the guy that's spearing the trading cards with his knife.
Spearheading.
You know what I can do is I can send him a video of James Good opening packs. I could send him a video of Mojo Break opening packs for the last decade plus.
Mm-hmm.
I could send him packs of the 4-year-old kid down the street opening packs, and being like, dude, it's pretty easy to do. So yeah. By the way, family affair here. This was neat. Steph sent this over from Reddit.
Yep, I sent this one over.
Yeah.
MJ holding vendor is corrupt in my area, Kentuckiana. This past Friday, I was at Walmart around 5 to 8, I'm assuming a.m., and saw the MJ holding vendor, Noah, stocking basketball and football, among others. Noah's family and friends, including Matt M., in line, quoting, buying all the high resale value cards, basketball and football. Me and others have reported Noah and his friends and family multiple times, and no one does anything about it. Walmart will do nothing, and MJ Holding will do nothing. This Walmart is the Walmart on such and such road in New Albany, Indiana. Noah also stocks Walmarts across the river in Louisville, Kentucky, presumably. Multiple Walmarts in and around Louisville get stocked late at night, and Matt M. and Noah's family magically show up and know when he's stocking, including his brother-in-law, Brevin. What kind of name is that? Fake name at that. 10 days ago, April 31st, Matt M. tried to bribe a different MJ Holding vendor, not Noah, and the vendor told him off. The vendor told Walmart management, and they threatened to call the police. Is there anything I can do in the area that will make a difference, real change in our area? No.
And retail's gone away. This would have been something for us to talk about like last November. This is old news.
That's not.
Yeah. No, but it's sad. I mean, we've all been in positions at work, probably in jobs to help out family and friends in certain ways. And yeah, I mean, it's not probably the best thing to do, like in this situation, the way things are now. But I mean, again, retail is going away. So goodbye. Yeah, eBay has some updates, and so a lot of people were upset about this. And I haven't tried to list any new cards since these changes went into effect, but I was doing a lot of this stuff before.
I was too.
So I don't know. So now you can list sports cards by product type. Sports cards will be changing from sports categories into product type categories. Select from singles, packs, boxes, and more. You'll be required to choose a sport under specifics when listing. If you don't update your listings to the appropriate category, they will be automatically categorized as sports trading card singles. Item specifics are required for all trading cards. Starting in July, you'll be required to fill out these item specifics to keep your listings live. Sports under sports trading cards, game under collectible game cards, franchise under non-sport trading cards. New options for graded and ungraded cards. You'll be required to select if your card is graded or not in item specifics for single card categories. Graded cards have additional item specifics like grade, professional grader, and certification number. Certification number. So I know a lot of people were like, dude, I was doing this anyway because it pushes your listing up higher. When you put more information in and people are looking for a specific card or a specific release, they're going to see it faster and it's going to come to the top more often. Do it. You should be doing it anyway.
Yeah. I read that and I was like, who's not already doing this stuff? I saw a few people say,
I love it.
Say, has anybody that's doing these policies on eBay actually listed on eBay? And it's like, why aren't you putting all that information anyway? The more information
the other thing you can do is I have a template that says baseball card singles, bubble mailer or baseball card singles, plain white envelope with tracking now.
Yeah.
And I have most of the stuff filled out, and then I put in the card specifics of the team and the player name. And most of the time it populates. If you put it in the title of your listing, it will fill it out for you or suggest, hey, you put Mark McGwire. Is it an A or is it a Cardinal? And then you just click the team and it populates.
And you should already have in that template. So you should already have whether you have that or like a Word document, all of your information about your shipping. Yeah, all your notes should be filled out, and that goes for anything you sell, not just sports cards. Everything you sell on eBay, the more information you can give, the better. Yeah. You want to sell the stuff or not.
Yeah. So a P70 thought here. This comes from Red Sox Almanac. I think these Project 70 cards would be more popular if they were standard card release because so many of them are really good looking, but I can't buy them.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you can't buy them. I mean, maybe the price point. My question is, what if they were a packed out product and then the artist proofs were like case hits or box hits, like you'd get an artist proof of a card, right? And all of them were in there, and then they had singles, and then they like had, bordered parallel changes or whatever. Wouldn't that be cooler?
So you're saying something like how Topps did Bunt as a physical release not too long ago. Mind you, Bunt and P70, P2020, whatever you want to use is a big difference. But as an idea, hey, here's the digital card, here's the physical card.
Yeah, release it like Topps Inception, right? Where it's like that thicker stock. There's like 6-8 cards in a pack. You're going to get...
I think when last year's project popped up, I loved the idea of either putting it in Series 1 or Series 2. Hey, here's one free. Have it as a rare whatever redemption card. That would be a redemption card I wouldn't mind getting in a pack.
Yeah.
So, So if you look at the program idea, right, you had Project 2020 as 20 iconic cards by 20 artists in the year 2020 for $20, right? Project 70 is 70 years of Topps. They have 51 artists, which is the first year Topps released cards, right? 1951. They stuck with the 20 cards per artist and the $20 price point, which is fair. But here's the thing, and I tweeted this out a couple days ago, yesterday maybe. We've seen a couple of cards, one Mark McGwire and one, I think it was Adrian Beltre, that were dangerously close to falling below 1,000 print run. And I'd said, I bet within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And granted, a lot of it depends on who's done. But look, Tim Lincecum was done today. And although it was a great card and he was fun for a while for the Giants, a lot of popularity here locally to Tim in my area, does it sell 1,000 cards? And I think one of these cards, if not more than one in the next, let's call it calendar month, until January or June 1st. One of these cards, if not more, are going to fall below 1,000 print run. And I know that they can be 200-300 and probably still be profitable. But maybe we will see something different moving forward. Something similar to what we're seeing with Blake Jameson's 1951 and Ben Baller's Chrome and now Keith Shore's Bowman. Maybe we'll see a redesign next year because we're already seeing that they've changed. They were quick to go from 3 cards a day to 4 cards a day when they realized this thing was going to take 68 weeks to complete.
Should have been 70 weeks, but thoughtful planning. No, I'm curious if the artists get a report on how their card is doing, because I'd be curious how many would then buy enough to get them over that 1,000 mark themselves, just to not be the one who hits 970.
Yeah, but we're gonna be there, so
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And we've seen with the low print runs and Tops Living in the wrestling. And granted, we don't know what the licensing of that is versus Star Wars or baseball. Right. So there's other variables, but we see with the low print runs that it's still a viable product, and it's still at the beginning. That they've got to be making money. So to answer the age-old question of Tops Living baseball, they could probably get away with a couple hundred cards per card and still be at least at a break-even point. This is a little different because now you're also involving third-party partners with these artists and what's their tolerance level, how much money are they truly making off of this. And as guys like Blake Jameson, bless him for all of his success as he gets more and more popular. If he starts to see the return on these projects moving forward, does he want to continue to be a part of it, or is his day planner so full that he might just
do something on his own, and
he might be too busy? And God bless him if that's the case. Good for him, but I think we might see something different. Ryan Cracknell on Beckett's page for this already says, don't call this a sequel. So the third iteration of this moving forward, what is it going to look like? We don't know.
Yeah,
it'll still be online.
Kevin Jones says the P70 fatigue is real for sure. I mean, I bought one card.
Yeah,
and still have a card. That's fine. I bought a Buster Posey, Jameson. It's cool. I like it. It's really neat.
But you have no idea what your financial commitment is outside of sticking with one single artist. That you're fixed at that $400 price point. For 3 weeks I had no A's, and then they hit me at 3 last week.
Yeah,
and then this week they've hit none. So that delicate. Yeah, well, I just bought Transcendent Hall of Fame. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I just think it'd be better doing something else. So my peeve with the post office. So I got this back. I mailed this out April 12th. I received it back. It got started on the process back to me May 7th. I got it yesterday. There's a plain white envelope with tracking, and it says postage due 20 cents. Now I bought, if you can see there, it says I bought the 51-cent postage, which is 1 ounce. Okay. This was the card that was in there. One card and a top loader. So I weighed this before I even opened it. I put it on my USPS scale and weighed it. It came out to 3/4 of an ounce. So it was below 1 ounce. Yet they said it was over 1 ounce. And it doesn't exceed the dimensions at all. I've sent hundreds of these. It came back to me. I reached out to the seller, and he said, yeah, I never got any notes that said postage was due, even though they said they tried to deliver it on these 3 dates. So I don't know quite. I got to look here. I don't know quite where it was going. It went to Massachusetts. That's where it was headed.
But it shouldn't matter, though, as long as it's in the continuous.
No, but what I'm
48.
saying is that local post office is the one that said the postage was due, and then said they tried to deliver it 3 times with no response, and it was sent. It was said return to sender unclaimed, unable to forward, and they sent it back to me. So I ended up just refunding his money because I was like, dude,
Since some of us don't read the show notes and only skim them, are we going to reference that one that got sent back for the non-machinable?
I didn't see that.
So, okay, I don't know if it was in our notes or not, or if it just came on my timeline, but somebody had sent the PWE with the PWE tracking and put non-machinable, and his local post office said that he'd have to pay basically the bubble mailer prices or more expensive postage, that the inexpensive eBay shipping no longer qualifies for it since now it's a parcel.
Interesting.
So just be careful with that. I mean, we're seeing more and more, still not getting consistent tracking where it's being scanned in.
I've never put non-machinable on any of these. I've never had any problems. I mean, this thing got shipped all over the place. I mean, it came back and it's in the same condition. So
if you're a seller using that, I'd be careful to put non-machinable.
Yeah, I would.
Just because right now we don't. Yeah, right now we don't know.
The
Still
the
new.
best was I received a card yesterday on Monday as well, and it was a red prism parallel of Harrison Barnes, just because I'm in that job and I picked the king to do prism parallel
The
of
entire
24.
parallel, sure.
Yeah, and it came in this really big bubble mailer, and it was just one card, and I was like, okay, so I opened up. Well, inside was another bubble mailer, and inside that bubble mailer was this card. Okay, but not in a top loader. So it was really frustrating. I mean, thank God there's no damage to this card. It's numbered out of 299, so it's somewhat limited.
Sure.
But I was like, oh, and also too, the sleeve is a 130 point sleeve. It's not a base card sleeve. And I guess top loaders are now more expensive than a bubble. And these were the duct tape bubble mailers.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like the free eBay ones. They weren't like a bulk purchase from China eBay. No, these were the ones from Walmart that are like $1 something a piece.
Right.
So you spent like $3 on bubble mailers. You couldn't like
have him call me. I've got so many top loaders.
But I sent back. I put back in the feedback. Yeah, like it came quick. The price was good. Yeah, I said, but the card came in. I put in the notes. No top loader.
I had my second card in the last 6 weeks ruined by somebody that put painter's tape over the open end of the top loader to seal it, and the adhesive. Don't put adhesive near cardboard. If you've got to use it, just do it on the outside of your team bag or wherever. Put it somewhere that's not over the opening, because cardboard and adhesive do not mix. I don't care if it's Scotch tape or duct tape or homemade tape like Joe Gorelli from News Radio. Don't put come on, just cut it out. No adhesive near cardboard.
Yeah. So here we go. The question of the week. Is
no.
there?
Yes.
Okay.
Nick.
So this spun for when Steph showed that he pulled that young gun today. So Steph is a Wild fan, okay, but he's also putting together that set.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he has a Kaprizov, and it's a very sought after card, a couple $100 card.
Sure.
Does it? I mean, it's his card, it's in his collection, but he puts it in the upper deck young gun set. So it's in the set, but he doesn't have one for the PC. Do you need a second copy of that card? One for the set, and then one for your PC, or does the one in the set count towards your PC? So you could never pull that card out, then you would have an incomplete set.
You wouldn't. You still have it.
A perfect world where this would be normally priced, I wouldn't go and I would go down and chase down another. I might have a deal from a coworker of mine to get one reasonably priced. But if this was just an expensive card, yeah, no, I wouldn't chase it down.
I know it's semantics, but I'm just saying, like.
So, perfect example, A83 Tyson Chicken, the first Kirby Puckett minor league card. I just have a photocopy of it and slipped it in the binder page because it's in a mag touch. I'm not putting a $100 card in a binder. No offense.
So it depends on the set. It really does. I mean,
sure.
Andrew with Bayside reached out to me today asking how I binder parallel sets, and it's like it really depends on how many cards are in the team set and how many parallel team sets I'm building. If I'm, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many variables. I mean, I've got a 1985 Topps set. Okay, it's a complete set. But when I only had one Mark McGwire, I needed that Mark McGwire to go with my A's team set in my A's binder. So I pulled it out and put it with my A's team set, which is where it currently, technically it's on my desk at the moment, but in a case, screw down, of course. I wanted to be hip with the times that it came out. But, I've got the set. I know where the McGwire is. I can always put it back in there. And maybe I should now that I've got plenty more than one. But if it's an expensive card, for instance, I've got if it wasn't factory sealed, I've got the factory sealed '89 Upper Deck is where my Griffey is at. Now, if I wanted to pull that Griffey out, I can pull it out and put it with my PC stuff if I had one of him and know that that's where it is in my sets missing the Griffey, but it's not in a binder. Now, if I was to put it in a binder, I'd have to leave the Griffey there with that because that's where it belongs, just like the McGuire would belong in the 85 if it was in a binder.
Yeah, I mean, I need the second copy. I need to have two. One's for me personally, and then one's for that set. Even though that set belongs to me, I'm like that neurotic. The only exception I've made, the only exception to the rule, is my 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout, because I have one. I don't think I'll ever get another one, but I have one, and it's in a penny sleeve inside 3 bubble mailers, so it's well protected.
Again, it just depends on how you collect. Donruss. Yeah. I've got the Donruss Diamond King A's as part of the team set, but I always get a second one, which I need to pick up a Matt Chapman from this year, so that I have one for the Matt Chapman Rainbow. So it just depends. There's no right or wrong answer. If it's an affordable card, definitely go grab 2. Go grab 10 if your heart desires that. But again, if it's an expensive card, I mean, if I went and bought a 1980 or 1969 top set or built one, the Reggie Jackson is staying with my A's team set. So, and the Mickey Mantle I have, actually, I bought it graded. So, hey, guess what? If it's sitting in a box or if it's sitting in a binder, those ones get skipped.
Yeah. I had to, it was hard when I was, so like with my Bretts, right? I didn't have any growing up, I never had any 75 Topps Bretts until 2012. I have a handful now. I'm very lucky to pick some up for a good price. But when I was doing my George Brett collection, there was one there. But then I did the Royals team set and then also a 75 set. So I had to pull them out of, certain spots and get extras of that to fill that in. I like this. Congrats to Dak T-Mac fan. He also pulled one today, Steph. So congratulations there. And that went into his Z Folio Young Gun binder.
Well done.
Very nice. Very nice.
Love that.
So I mean, the different distribution models have different ways. Bare minimum, you're getting 2 a box. The retail boxes have 6, but you have a 1 in 50 chance of getting it. And I'm not sure that they printed them at equal odds because, oh boy.
I love 3B here. Need 3 of every Topps Freeman, 1 for my set, 1 for the team binder, and 1 for the PC.
But at the end of the day, it's still your card, and this is where being a completionist makes it really hard. This disease of I have to have 2.
Like, you could sell the set, and if the set becomes very valuable, start after. You could sell the set and sell the second one. This is why I've kind of always had a rule. And so whenever I buy like the Topps Living rookies, this is an example, I always buy 2 of the rookie, 1 to put in the set and 1 to just put in a rookie box in case the guy takes off or it's a low print run or something. And then I could turn around and I could sell that and go buy a bunch more cards. I've always been thinking about this. Like when Prism basketball and football singles were affordable, they were within reason. I would always buy a couple of every of like the quarterbacks or the top handful of NBA picks and then put them in a box. And that way, if they took off, I could keep one and then sell the other 2 or 3 for a tremendous profits and take that and buy more stupid Royals cards with it or Giants cards or Buster Posey parallels or Gary Hampson cards, right? Stuff that I really enjoyed collecting, but it was an easy way for me to make a few free dollars by spending an extra $5 or $10 at that point in time. So I'm still a fan of that. Like when Topps flagship drops, if there's a rookie card of a guy you think is going to do well, buy a couple of them and set them aside. You never know what that guy takes off. I mean, I was going through a 2015 update box the other night, and I found a couple of Tim Anderson update rookies. Didn't even know they were in there. Never thought about pulling them out.
To your point, Tim. To your point, Tim. I think we'll back up the truck a little bit. I think we can all agree. If it's not a budget buster to where you could afford, say, three Freddie Freemans, if they're inexpensive and it doesn't hurt your budget, why not buy 2 or 3 to kind of serve all the masters of the collector inside of you? And that's cool. If it is a budget buster, like a Young Guns, for instance, then one is all you need. If you're lucky enough to come across a second one out in the wild in a trade, you have a friend that pulls one and hooks you up on a good deal, then that's a whole nother scenario. But as a general rule, as long as it doesn't hurt your financial budget, whether it's your card collecting, you're pulling it out of your personal finances of your mortgage money and your food money.
Mhm.
Why not buy 2 or 3 if you have different spots where that additional card or cards can go. But one is really all you need. But then again, I have 887 Maguires, so I'm not really one to.
I need because I have 8. I got to count because I've had a handful more Hampsons come in. So I'm like, I know I was at 803. So I want to say I'm probably around 810. So I would like to see which one of us can get to 1,000 first.
You will, because yours are probably cheaper.
You know what though? It's crazy. Is people are starting to try to sell them for $4 or $5. The kids having a year. Kids having a good year. And I'm so excited.
Because that person listens to the show and they know you're the sucker that's going to buy them.
I've stopped. I haven't bought. The ones I've picked up recently have all been gifted to me. Some people have been nice enough to send them along in like little, random acts of kindness, or
eBay
if we
sellers.
made a trade.
eBay sellers watch our show and they saw you coming, man.
Hey, Nick, what's up? Hey, Nick's in the chat goes, I think it depends on how you display your PC. If your faves never see the light of day, then it does matter. Question mark. Nick, you got to go back, listen to the first part of the show if you didn't. We gave you a huge shout out. Congratulations on just dominating the Beckett hockey this month, man.
Very
super
much.
Cool.
And probably going to get one in the mail. Shoot me your address so you can sign it.
Yeah, don't forget us when you're super celebrity and popular and famous.
He's
and
one
all
of those paparazzi, like just living in LA, and he's got all the gold.
Yeah,
and,
just
down Scarlet.
Just remember, we were nice. We were nice boys.
Yeah.
Somewhere around the 42-minute mark.
Yeah.
Tim, if you end up,
we head out tonight,
if you end up picking up one of those hockey Beckets, especially if you,
I'm going to go back to our place and buy 2, and then tell them one of them's for you. And see what
as you're walking out the door, just peace. Grab me one, because I'm going to see if I can get good old Nicholas Saint Nick to sign it.
I'm really sad that. So I text the guy that promotes our show. He's one of the dealers, and he's just kind of like the guy that puts the show together to make sure it happens. And I texted him and said, "Hey, I know we're doing because I got an email earlier this week. Hey, we're on. It's all good. We're gonna have it in 2 rooms, yada yada." And I reached out, "Hey, is there a possibility of a 3rd table?" He said, "No." I was like, "Okay, no big deal." And then I got a text like an hour later saying, "Hey, dude, it's off. We just got the word. They've canceled the show. They even though they confirmed it 2 or 3 weeks ago with me, and for both dates are canceled. They're not doing any events till at least June 15th." And I was so mad. I'm like, the promoters waited till the end. I mean, they just recently this weekend reached out and said, "Hey, we're good to go," to give us some time to get ready. And I've been prepping like crazy, and that now gives me some more time, which is fine. But I'm just pissed because I'm like, we haven't had a show since January 4th, 2020, and I understand why. Trust me. Now, June 15th, and it's a funny date they say that, because also that's the rumor that's the day California is going to end the mask requirement in public to save the government's ass. So
it's true.
We will see. It's true. Our governor's about to lose his job, and so he's giving out money to everybody as a tag debate.
Like to Sunday be the president. So he wants to save his job.
Not to get recalled. So I'm not a political person. It's funny though, because his aunt is Nancy Pelosi and she's an idiot, and he's her nephew and he's an idiot. So maybe it just runs in the family. And by the way, Pelosi's husband was the owner of the Mountain Lions, and they were an idiot franchise. So
he really wants to be president someday, and it's not going to look good at the debate when his counter looks at him and says, "Didn't you get impeached as governor of California?" So
if he gets impeached, he can't run again, right? He can't be in political office anymore. Is that true? I don't know.
But it's just the timing of it's funny. Like, wait a minute, you guys are going to vote me out at end of June? Hey, listen, June 15th. Listen to me, guys. States reopening, stimulus checks for everybody.
We're Texas. Let's just let it go, baby.
Anyway.
I got my Johnson & Johnson vaccine, so I'm going to turn into Sloth from Goonies. Like, by the end of the year. Which hey, whatever. Let's go have some fun, and I'll be a zombie man, and we'll it'll be more fun of a show.
I do have three.
I'm pulling for a show. Hopefully late June. Let's do it.
There is one in Fairfield late June. If you are in Northern California,
One
it's 45,000
next weekend.
45,000 square feet. 200 tables are rumored, and PSA allegedly is going to be there for those people that
they can grade cards wrong. And charge me $1,000.
Yeah, but I can go there.
I love the comment. Everybody loved when I said the luxury cards of. We only want
I can go there and hold up I can go hold up a sign that says "grading is a scam" right next to. I'll rent a table.
Nobody will see it over the rest of the height of everyone else, though.
I would walk up to him and say, "Hey, you know what you guys are doing? You're scamming people, right? And hey, you don't want my cheap cards anymore, right? Because I want to grade this 1987 Joe Carter tops. It's a 10-cent card, but you're going to charge me $50 to grade it. Anyway,
is it true that you only grade cards on the PWCC Top 100 Index? I do have three things if I can mention.
Go.
I have two after he's done.
Happy 47th birthday to Mark Wilkins, who's been a great friend of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate for him.
He buys stuff from me on eBay without contacting me first for a better deal.
Save money, Mark. Gosh, save fees. He's a Boston Red Sox fan, so unfortunately for him, that's kind of a cross he's going to have to bear. Speaking of Boston Red Sox fans, Mark Hoyle, great friend of the show. His I believe his third daughter is getting married on Saturday, so awesome for Mark. Congratulations, Dad.
Definitely.
Well done. And another friend of the show who's been on, Night Owl, Greg Gay. His daughter's graduating from college this weekend. So
outstanding.
Well done, gentlemen. We
have two Marks and they're both Red Sox fans.
Yeah, gross. It's like it's an epidemic.
Yeah.
So I have three things. One we forgot to mention last week, Mother's Day, this past weekend. So much love for all the moms and the moms in the hobby.
Every day is Mother's Day.
Thank you that you haven't thrown away my cards.
There should be an insert set like that.
Ideas here. Two, I got this in the mail the other day from Shane Katz. So it's the Upper Deck / Kellogg's. Front looks similar to 2007 Upper Deck. It's a 2008 though, and it's in Japanese on the back, and it's unopened.
Awesome.
In cello. Two, and finally,
so do you open it?
No. I'll find another and then open that one. Going back to the previous topic. But no, so I after pulling the one young gun that I needed from my set.
How many times is he going to show that?
Yes,
a lot.
It hasn't left my hand.
Very excited.
It really hasn't left my hand.
Real quick, it's like the first time your buddy, does the with the
It was like the ex-president who was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. It's there. It's
he's gonna
right
he's gonna pull out the Babe Ruth Diamond King next. Watch
right behind me.
He wears it around his neck.
So, but. Yeah, in that spirit, I stuck with hockey, and I opened a few boxes of game-used hockey. And I want to give Upper Deck some props because really wonderful designs, great-looking cards, and the relics are amazing in person. So this is 2020-21 Upper Deck game-used SP edition. So base auto, check out that patch. Looks to be a shoulder piece for a rookie out of 65. Oh, there it goes. Nice and clear.
Pretty.
And then I wish they had some other licenses. Jake Evans. So in theory, there's 35 others of the rest of the nameplate. I just happen to get the V and signature right, presumably that way. And then the one that would look amazing in any sport. Same set, frameworks. So The red bit is the actual jersey, and then on the acetate itself, it has the blue jersey bits and the McKinnon print, so it actually looks like it's a jersey on framed over the relic patch, and that's just amazing.
That is pretty.
They deserve a lot of props for this. And then I found out that apparently, since this is the back of the jersey, it's the rarer version because it's supposed to be the front first. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I remember there was a guy years ago at LCS that would come in and bust hockey, and he would have a blog and everything, and he'd write it up and do like a little video on 5 different types of the box value, kind of like what we were doing with our written blogs, and just some of the cards that would come out of there. It's like I wish I collected hockey, because the cards are gorgeous. It's just not in my budget to expand beyond A's because that takes up so much of my budget as it is. But man, if they could ever get the baseball license or a split of that back, I mean, I would absolutely die because that would just make, I think, each and every one of our baseball PCs great.
This series 1 and 2, because the card stock, it's just really like it feels thicker. It's got a gloss to it. The Young Guns, it's always a great photography. It's a pretty set, like every year, or not every year, but the last 3 years I've opened it, it's been fun. It really is. Hey, so my final thought is I want to, and I put this out there to some people or on Twitter, and some people responded back, but I am so missing shows. I've thought about even hosting, having like time slots open where if people wanted to come shop my quarter boxes or my stuff here, because my buddy Eric gave me a bunch of stuff. I have a 5,000 count box back here of autographs and relics just of baseball cards.
I think this. You still have my 3-row, right?
Yeah, and I have Steph's 3-row sitting behind me. That's all ready to go. It says like Steph's cards for the card show, like on it. It's like right behind me here. It's like ready to rock and roll. It's been ready for like a year. And so I'm thinking about like, why not just, and I don't know if anybody would be interested to say, hey, like, yeah, Shep, give me, like, I can come hang out with you from like 3 to 3:30 on Wednesdays in the afternoon. And let me see what St. Louis Cardinals you have. And we could sit and go through them real quick. And you could say, yeah, ding. And I just say, hey, here we go. And just do the same pricing as I do at the card shop shows.
I'm going to check my calendar real quick to see if I have any availability to come hang out with Shep. Oh, no, I don't.
Well, you have to be this tall to ride this ride.
And you'd probably forget your wallet again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need it, though, because we could work out a bro deal. Hell yeah.
So anyway, that's the thing I'm thinking about. And anybody wants to reach out, hit me up at Big Shep on Twitter. Slide into the comments here on the YouTube channel. Email us about the cards.pod or about the cardspod at gmail.com. Whatever. Hit us up, hit me up, let me know. Because I'm trying to think of some things to do. I thought about doing a card show in my driveway. But now it was like 96 degrees in May today, and it was like, and I'm like, I'm not one for the heat. Like,
the next 14 days, our high is 78. We have thunderstorms and rain.
Yeah, the next 5 days here, it's like 93 plus. I'm like, yeehaw. I'm gonna stay in my card room where the air conditioning works, and I have a baseball on, and I can have a cold beverage.
What one super last thing, Yank chick Susie on Twitter today. If you're on the Twitter, obviously the target information is a huge development in the hobby. She had her card chat as she does every Wednesday, I believe at 8 p.m. Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Most Wednesdays, nearly all.
Yeah, all of her topics today were related to and around Target's announcement and retail. I got home late. I didn't get I got an opportunity to respond, but I didn't get an opportunity to read through it, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. Definitely go check that out. Respond, give your thoughts. It's probably really interesting to read through some of the responses and get an idea. But that's a hot topic. So for anybody asking kind of what the pulse of the hobby is, that might be some good feedback from a wide variety of different collectors of all makes and models. So,
well, as we head out tonight, I just want to, this is from all of us. We want to thank you. I mean, 150 episodes, 3+ years of doing this. Who knew when we sat down and did that show? God, don't go back and look at it.
Please don't.
I think episode 0 is our most viewed show.
Sure.
Which is pretty crazy. And Murph always points out that his episode was like one of the most watched recently. He's like, hey, my show's still up there. It's like, okay, bud, if you want to come back on, come and hang out. Anyway, it's amazing to me, like where we are, where we've come from. I think we're like at 835 people on that follow the show on YouTube, which I mean doesn't sound like a lot, but to me it's impressive. I'd like to get to 1,000. That would be a cool number, but I'm not going to push for subscriber. We're not going to push for subscribers. We're not going to
subscribe. No.
We're going to ask you to tell people, and if they want, they awesome. If you like our show, or put comments in the show and tell us how we're doing, and be honest, man. Like, be like, no, you guys are three fat idiots, and I don't care. Like, okay, that's fine. No,
I mean, how many times can we thank look at all the friends, the people that we have met along the way, and we'll bring Nick Wasika back into the fold. Our good buddy once a Cub, Matt Major. Yeah. He's like, you got to have this guy Nick on the show, and we bring Nick on, and he's been a great advocate and partner for our show, and a good friend, and it's amazing if you're having a bad day. I mean, just bring it back to something I said earlier in the show about depression and anxiety and PTSD. How many people do we have on our phone or our Twitter that we've met through this that we can rely on, and in turn offer our friendship to and our time to? Yeah. And it's remarkable. I was going to look into putting Bentley in Cub Scouts, and I tweeted out, hey, if anybody has any experience with this, and a guy named Jeff was like, hey, I'm involved, DM me, and very courteous and gracious with his time. And it's just like, the community is so awesome. And for 150 weeks of this, we've had an opportunity to share our thoughts and grow friendships and create new friendships that are probably, lifelong friendships in most cases.
It led to Dr. Beckett knowing who I was and me wetting my pants. And
when Mark Wilkins is like, hey, well done, kid. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, Uncle Rich and Dr. Jim were talking about you and your McGuire collection on the show. And I'm like, still amazed that those two guys even know who I am, who you are, and by name, and they know what we collect. And it's just like, but we can't think, I tweeted that out today. So many people that have been on the show, too many to list in a single tweet, 10 tweets. I don't know how many guests we've had, but, if you're out there listening and you want to be on the show, reach out to us. If you're out there listening and you know somebody like Matt knew about Nick Wasika and said, you need to have this guy
on the show that we're missing. Yeah.
Let us know if you want somebody to come back like Nick, like Ryan Cracknell, like Dub. Let us know, and we'll reach out to these people, because they've been so gracious with their time, and we're absolutely flattered that they give up 2 hours of their day and their life to come sit with us. And it's absolutely humbling and flattering when we hear nice things, and
Yep. And then hey, real quick too, I forgot I did like a little Twitter live thing this week where I'm sorting cards, and I went live for 20 or 30 minutes. I'm gonna start trying to do that some more during the week. Just while I'm doing some work around the house here, maybe have a little conversation, because you can invite people in to hang out with you too, and have a conversation.
What was the music in the background? Like, dude looks like a lady. I could just see Robin Williams sliding across from Mrs. Doubtfire. And
no, it was just me rambling for 25 minutes. But it's stupid because you can't do it from your desktop. You can only do it from the app. and I try to do it on my iPad so I'd have the bigger screen, but it won't let you flip the camera on the iPad, so which is okay, but then you can't see what the people are saying in the comments. So I just had to do it for my phone, which is all right, but it's just like so it was just so dumb and it was frustrating. I might do it some more, we'll see. But yeah. Remember, we're live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific on
10 Central.
Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter about the cards. Follow Ben at our trading card duos. Follow Steph at Junkwax Twins. Follow me at Big Shep 79. Please share your hobby stories. Great poll. Send your questions our way. Keep collecting. We'll talk to you all next week.